Hello Capricorn, how are you? I hope you're well. Welcome to my channel. This is your first time. Welcome back if this isn't your first time. Either way, I'm so glad you're here to join me for today's reading, which is for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. And as you can see from the title, today we're doing your tarot predictions for the month of March 2021. So welcome to your reading. I hope you're excited for this. I am as well. Two things that I want to say quickly before we get into it. First of all, this is a general reading, so just make sure to take what resonates and leave the rest. And also, I do private readings, both tarot and astrology. So if that's something that you are interested in, I will leave my contact information in the description box down below, and you can hit me up over there, okay? So without any further ado, let's just get into it and see what does the month of March have in store for you. So Spirit, March predictions, what's going on for March for Capricorn. Okay. What's going on for Capricorn in March? Interesting. Okay. Do I keep all of that? That's a lot. Yeah, okay. But I think we're gonna stop here. I'm just gonna make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna stop here. I'm gonna place your cards real quick and I'm gonna show them to you. So, how do we want to do this? Okay, first thing as I want to say is that you have a lot of major arcana, which is really surprising. And if you don't know, the major arcana really speaks about our bigger life lessons. So this is like a big month for you, but you know, not necessarily, that's not inherently bad or good. We're gonna look at it and see what's really going on here more in detail. So your first card here is the Knight of Inspiration, which is the Knight of Wands. By the way, the decks I'm using today will be listed down below as well, if you're curious about that. We have Temperance. We have the Queen of Materials. The Emperor. The Page of Emotions in reverse. I love the design of this card. It's so cute. The Wheel in reverse. The Empress. So we have a pair here. We have both the Emperor and the Empress. Interesting. The Hierophant. And finally, came out at the end, the Ace of Voices. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Emotions. And what's up here? The Age of Inspiration in reverse at the top. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. There's something about inner balance in this spread. There's something about, because we have a pair, we have the Emperor and the Empress. So of course this could manifest more externally, as in a connection that you have with someone else, whether romantic or not. But I do feel like there's a sense of inner, like two different energies within you. And oh, look, I put them back in the wrong place. Yeah, there could be a theme here about trying your best to accept, see, and integrate both your masculine and your feminine energy within you, because that is something that we all have within us. I do think that energy in the universe is much more complex and broad than just a polarity of feminine and masculine energy, of course, but we do, no matter our gender, we all have both masculine and feminine energy within us, and they are both useful. And you know, we all have, some of us are more masculine, some of us are more feminine kind of inherently, and again, that has nothing to do with our gender, but we all have our own version of balance and equilibrium of those two energies within us, and we it's very useful for us to find that, to function at our best in the world. And that is something that Capricorn is usually concerned about, functioning at our best and at our most productive in the material world. Because the first card that came out here is the Queen of Materials, which is really great, and I was like, wow. And this is a very Capricorn energy here, because Queen of Materials, that's the Queen of Pentacles. This is the Queen of Earth. So this is someone who is more mature. This is someone who is able to set goals for themselves and work for them and reach them, and be not only there's something about Capricorn which is work smart. It's not necessarily work hard, but also work smart. Whereas some other earth signs, sometimes it's just work hard. With the Capricorn being the last earth sign, there's some sort of maturity that comes here. And if you don't know, in the astrological signs, there's some sort of in the archetypes, there's also an age. So we start with the first sign of Aries, which can be represented by the baby. And Capricorn is the 10th sign out of 12. So Capricorn is an older sign typically. And Capricorn is also ruled by the planet Saturn, which also represents maturity and older people. So no matter, this is also why Capricorns can sometimes look more mature than their age, or even when they're like children, they look like mini adults. But yes, and then afterwards there can be some sort of like Benjamin Button kind of feeling or experience, not literally, of course. I mean, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but there can be that type of experience where Capricorn seems very serious when they're younger, and then as they grow older, they're able to kind of relax more and let themselves just be sometimes, and kind of be more silly with things, which is really great. But yeah, I think that you're realizing also that even though you have all of these qualities of the Queen of Materials, which is being having a plan, working hard, having a good work ethic, having good values, being someone who's very, you plan ahead with your money, with your job, with all the different options that you have, and in that sense, you have vision for the future. But at the same time, sometimes there can be an extreme to that, which is not necessarily good. And I think that you guys are, in March at least, you're realizing that there's an emotional part of yourself that is a bit more locked off or blocked off within you. And perhaps this is something that you've done to yourself unconsciously, or that other people have done, society has done, or that often it's all of those things together at different degrees. And I think with the wheel in reverse here, I think you're realizing that, because here you might feel like you're stuck at some part of your life. You might feel, I don't know, maybe it's a job, maybe it's like, maybe you're trying to change something and it's just blocking off and it's just not happening, and you're like, what is going on? And I think in March you're realizing that even though you have all of these amazing things for yourself, and there's all these amazing things that you've cultivated about yourself and that you've learned over the years, you're not connected, you're completely disconnected from your emotions, and that is blocking you off from manifesting, from being able to move on, from being able to find something new that will fulfill you. And so this is why the wheel here is in reverse. That's why it's blocked, because upright, it's like, oh, the wheel will always turn, the wheel will always come back. But here it's blocked by this Page of Cups in reverse here, this Page of Emotions. So there's something about your inner child also. Your inner child also might be scared of change. There might be something I'm getting intuitively, that maybe you've had some difficult changes or transitions in your lifetime, perhaps when you were a child, and therefore you couldn't really control it. It was just kind of imposed onto you. And therefore and maybe that's subconscious. Maybe you feel like, no, I want this change. But your subconscious is like, oh, when that happened in the past, that was really traumatic, that was really difficult and painful or scary, so we're going to protect ourselves and not be open energetically to receive something new, or we're going to like self-sabotage when something new presents itself, or we're going to be like, oh no, but this is not really what I want, and we're going to actually avoid it instead of giving it a chance. There are all those kinds of things that can happen sometimes. So it's good to kind of question ourselves and to realize that every part, even though we might only be thinking about a change in our material life, like our job, and we might feel like our inner child or our feelings have nothing to do with that, all of those parts of ourselves are connected. And there's a lot of maturity and a lot of peace that can come from understanding and realizing this. Okay, at first it can be not peaceful, it can be stressful, because you're like, oh my god, if my emotions are messed up, everything can be messed up. Is that what you're saying? And I mean, yes and no. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's going to mess it up, but it's going to affect it. And also, even if you're not used to listening to your own emotions and caring for them, you can still learn, no matter how old you are, no matter how long you've spent your life not doing that. So you don't have to be super anxious or fatalistic about that. Okay, I don't want you to feel that way either. It's important to kind of see, to kind of see the more positive thing, because there is like divine timing here with this Temperance. I think you might be, this Knight of Inspiration here, you really want to charge at your goal or at something new or whatever you're trying to get, and the divine is like, nah, like, you're gonna wait, it's not now. 11:11 at the recording time when I said that. So yeah, you might be seeing 11:11 recently, I don't know. Might be something about the number 11. 11 days, 11 weeks, 11 months. I don't know. Maybe, I hope not in 11 years for you, but I don't think so. Yeah, I think that you just want to be able to, I feel like, okay, I'm getting a message that like you want to prove to people that you're this queen of materials for whatever reason. You feel like it's going to bring you something, and I feel like you're waiting for this new achievement, for this new thing to come into your life. Perhaps it's a new job, perhaps it's a new achievement, perhaps it's like a new like a promotion or a raise, something like that, or like a certificate or prize, whatever, a specific recognition that you could show to people. And it's not necessarily that you want to show off, it's that you know you've worked hard for it and that you deserve it, and you want to be able to share that sentiment with people. Yeah. Because I feel like you just, with this firework here, you just want to celebrate. But I feel like that's also part of why this is kind of blocking off right now, because it's not that you're not there yet, it's that you need to find that sense of accomplishment in your day-to-day life already. You don't need to have that in order for you to be like, okay, yes, I've gotten the validation of someone else. Yeah, and that might be this Emperor person here. This other person who could give you validation. You might be like seeking validation from like a really specific person. Like if you're working at like a corporation, could be someone higher up than you, like your boss or something, or whoever has more authority over you, is in a Saturn figure for you, an emperor figure for you. They might be someone who really pushed you to kind of surpass yourself and to work even harder and to achieve even more. And because I'm getting like, if this is like a one-on-one specific person in your life, I don't think that there's like necessarily a conflict here, but yeah. And also yeah, because look at her expression. Oh, sorry, I hope you can see. I feel like she's like defiant, or she's like, look at me, she's like, hey. And I don't know, I never got that from this card before, but it really fits the narrative here. Yeah, okay. But there's something more spiritual about all of this with the Hierophant, and this is why you kind of have to go through this Page of Cups awakening and realization here. You need to realize, yeah, exactly, you need to be able to see all of these amazing things that are already within you, and being able to acknowledge them and validate them yourself, and being able to celebrate them. Yeah, and you need to realize, you need to feel stable within yourself, and to realize that you are solid. You don't need someone else to hold it together for you, if that makes sense. And this is for you to be able to step into your power as a divine creator, perhaps as a divine feminine, if that resonates with you, or like even like a divine mother, but in general, just like a divine creator. Okay, you need to connect to your, probably your feminine energy particularly, or just your energy as someone who creates their own life and who creates their own miracles. Okay, I think that you need to realize, because okay, I'm getting that there's something here about, yeah, you think, okay, I get it. You think that the new things that come into your life that you're wishing for are things that you need to, like, you need to prove yourself. You need to improve yourself. You need to improve yourself here. And then someone else, better, higher up, more mature, more experienced than you, will look over that and give you validation, give you certification, and then you can access that. It's like you always need it to come from someone else, or you think it can only come from someone else. But the truth is that everything about this is already within you. It's already there. You can create that for yourself. You can validate yourself. You can test yourself. You can grow by yourself. You don't need to always be watched over by someone else. You can be valid even if it's not in that same kind of structure. Yeah, redefining structures is a big one also. And this can pass through you expressing yourself a lot, okay? You might, okay, I'm seeing someone who starts writing. So there might be some new, a new outlet that you develop in March. You might start writing, and this is not necessarily like, oh, you'll start writing articles, or like you'll start writing a book. I mean, it can be, but I'm mostly seeing someone who like holds and maintains a journal of, it can be affirmations, it can be manifestation, like writing what you want in life, what you're creating in your life right now, or writing down how you're feeling, like your feelings, to try to understand them better, or everything, because there's some sort of a change or evolution of belief, some sort of understanding, spiritual understandings about life and about yourself that are coming through you in March. If you let them, that will lead you to amazing growth, which will help you reach this Empress stage here. And so there can be a lot of feelings, or a lot of thoughts, a lot of confusion even, especially at the beginning, that come up for you. And so you writing all of this down can really, really help you to kind of just writing down what's going on for you, where you're at mentally, emotionally, physically. I think that could really, really help you process things. And then afterwards, you can also go back to it to understand better, and also to see where you're coming from. Okay, so that's really beautiful. So if you hadn't considered that already, or if you wouldn't have, like, naturally, this could be something that I would recommend for you. This could be good for you, especially if you feel like super lost. You're like, oh my god, what is happening to me? This is so confusing, this is so weird, this is so new. Writing it down can be really helpful. So I just want to end the reading by pulling an oracle card of advice for you for March. So what is the advice for Capricorn? What is the advice? No? Yes? No? Be clear, please. What is the advice for Capricorn for March? Okay. Got it. So I'm just going to take my little booklet. I forgot to take it out. Okay, sorry. Let's look at your card. Yeah, exactly. I'm not surprised. We have number 60. This is the Swan Spirit, and it says time for a deep dive. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. And at the bottom here, we have Mouse Spirit, tend to the small things. And at the top we have Deer Spirit, so bring a gentle touch. So being gentle with yourself through all of this also. And when you feel overwhelmed, or you feel like, oh, this is so much bigger than you, tending to the small things and prioritizing certain things to at least feel like you're doing something and you're not being overwhelmed by everything that's happening at the same time. But yeah, overall, this is like a time for you to dive deeper into who you are and to your emotions and everything that you think and believe about the world, because a lot of our beliefs, and such a huge part of our beliefs and understanding of the world, seems so obvious to us because it's what we've grown into. Often it's what our parents taught us because that's how they think, or we often surround ourselves with friends that think similarly to us, and so we think that that's just the truth and that everyone thinks like that. But then you start realizing that so many of these things are subjective, and so that can be really disorienting at first, but that can also bring us to a place where we know who we are so much better, and we feel so much wiser, and we have such a broader understanding, not just of ourselves but also of humanity as a whole, because we are humanity individually, all of us. Okay, that's enough of me being philosophical about this, even though that's kind of what I'm here to do. We'll just look into the booklet, and I'm going to read out to you the message for the swan spirit. So, with their graceful long necks, swans are able to reach into the depths. When swan spirit arrives, you are called to take a deep dive beyond what is easily available on the surface. You may think you know what is best for you now, but take the plunge into the depths of your awareness, for there is knowledge you are not aware of and great treasures to discover. Deeper understanding awaits you, and a perspective that comes from greater self-knowledge is what you need right now to better understand a situation or relationship. As you come to know yourself more intimately, so too will you come to better know others. So Swan Spirit asks you to go beyond the surface of what is happening between you and others and resist the temptation to judge by superficial appearances. Know there is much deeper potential for loving connections, forgiveness, and mutual understanding. Choose to dive deep into your why. Asking the deeper questions of yourself, you are led by the grace of Swan Spirit. Okay, beautiful. That's actually a lot of what I already said, and I didn't remember what the interpretation for the Swan Spirit card was, so I guess I just kind of felt it. But yeah, Capricorn, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that it was insightful and that it resonated for you. If it did, please like this video, comment down below to let me know, share it, and subscribe to my channel for more. I would love to have you here. If this didn't resonate, well, that's okay. It happens. I always make these videos with the intention of making them for all three signs, sun, moon, and ascendant. So I suggest that you perhaps watch one of your other signs or both of them. There might be something more accurate for you over there. They will all be up on my channel. If you don't see them just yet, they will come within the next couple of days. So I suggest that you subscribe to make sure that you don't miss out on that. But anyway, that's all for me today. I wish you an amazing rest of your day or night, an amazing month of March. I'm sending you a lot of love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.